The hall was alive with whispers and snickers, a chorus of alien voices echoing off the polished metal walls. Rows of recruits stood rigid, each of them examining the new human who had been assigned to their unit. His frame was smaller, less imposing, and his eyes carried the weight of a species entirely misunderstood. That human's name was Leo, and he had been chosen for reasons nobody fully understood, not even himself. To the seasoned warriors of the Litharian fleet, he was a curiosity, a frail creature that seemed entirely unsuited to the life of a soldier. The commander of the training facility, a tall figure with scaled armor that gleamed even under the harsh fluorescent light, stepped forward. "This is Leo," he said in a voice that resonated with authority. "He is your unit's recruit. Treat him as you would any other, though his kind requires guidance." A smattering of laughter rippled through the room. "Guidance," they said. Leo heard the word as a polite way of saying, "You will fail." Leo's first days were a blur of observation and humiliation. The other recruits, alien warriors bred for centuries of combat, found every opportunity to demonstrate superiority. In the simulation chambers, where holographic predators lunged and fired energy pulses, Leo moved slower, hit less precisely, and reacted with hesitation. One of the recruits, a four-armed creature with eyes like liquid silver, mocked him openly, spinning his own weapon in a show of dexterity before tossing it so casually that it grazed Leo's shoulder. "You're going to get yourself eaten," the alien sneered. "Why even bother trying?" Leo did not reply. He could feel the heat rising to his face. But he reminded himself of something his father once said: humans do not survive because they are the strongest, the fastest, or the largest. Humans survive because they refuse to surrender, no matter how hopeless the odds. Days passed, and the mockery only intensified. But beneath Leo's quiet demeanor, a calculation was forming. He observed every movement, every strategy, every instinct the aliens displayed. Unlike them, who relied on instincts honed over centuries, Leo's mind worked differently. He considered patterns, probabilities, and reactions in ways that no Litharian could predict. Then came the first real test. The recruits were escorted to a vast arena, barren expanse that simulated a deadly wilderness where artificial storms and holographic predators ensured that only the cunning survived. The Litharian elders, their eyes glowing faintly with bioluminescent approval, watched from above, anticipating chaos. The predators were released. They were apex creatures, genetically engineered to challenge even the most skilled recruits. Four-armed monsters with teeth like serrated blades, and serpentine drones that slithered with inhuman precision, emerged from the shadows. Screams and the hum of energy weapons filled the arena. The other recruits fought with confidence born of experience. They lunged, struck, dodged, and countered in flawless choreography. And then there was Leo. He hesitated. For a moment it seemed as though the Elder's prophecy would hold true. A predator lunged at him, jaws snapping, eyes like molten gold. Leo sidestepped, narrowly avoiding death. But instead of panicking, he watched. He saw how the creature moved, its rhythm, its pauses. He let it strike again, carefully avoiding its attacks, then feinted, drawing it off balance. It was not strength that carried him. It was calculation, anticipation, and timing. In an instant, he turned the predator's momentum against itself, a perfectly placed strike that would have taken an alien recruit decades to master. The creature toppled. Silence fell. Then came the apex predator, living legend of the fleet, a beast that had never been bested in simulation or reality. Its scales shimmered like molten steel, its claws dug trenches into the sand with every step, and its roar echoed like a cannon across the arena. Every recruit froze, save for Leo. The others charged with bravado. They fell almost immediately, their strength meaningless against an opponent of such ferocity. But Leo did not charge. He observed, breathing steady, calculating angles, distances, weaknesses. The apex predator lunged, jaws wide. Leo twisted, narrowly evading the strike, and rolled. As he rose, his eyes locked with the predator's, and something unspoken passed between them, a recognition, a challenge. He did not fight as the aliens fought. He fought differently. Every movement was a lesson in human ingenuity. He used the predator's attacks against it, turning its own power into a liability. When it lashed with its tail, he vaulted and leveraged momentum, redirecting force to topple it. When it struck with claws, he anticipated and used precision to destabilize it. Minutes or perhaps hours passed. Sweat and blood mixed, the arena a battlefield of skill and survival. And then, with one final, precise maneuver, Leo brought the apex predator to its knees. The hall went silent. The predator's glowing eyes flickered, confusion rippling through its intelligence. It had been defeated not by brute force, not by raw power, but by cunning, adaptation, and relentless determination. The other recruits stared in shock, mouths agape. The Litharian elders, unaccustomed to witnessing such an event, leaned forward. One of them, a being whose authority was unmatched, finally spoke. This human hate. The words faltered incomplete, unable to express the disbelief. And then something even stranger happened. The apex predator, The same creature that had decimated generations of recruits in simulations knelt before Leo, its massive head lowered in submission, its body trembling. The creature obeyed. The hall erupted not with laughter, but with astonishment. Alien voices raised in exclamations, questions, confusion. Leo remained calm, breathing steady, his chest rising and falling. He did not boast. He did not smile. He simply stood there, the predator at his feet. From that moment, everything changed. The same recruits who had mocked him now approached cautiously, respect replacing ridicule. The commanders took note, recording the event for their archives, analyzing how a human so small, so seemingly fragile had commanded the respect of a being bred to be the ultimate hunter. In the weeks that followed, Leo's presence transformed the unit. His strategies, unconventional and unpredictable, became lessons in innovation. The apex predator, once a symbol of dominance and terror, now acted under Leo's guidance, assisting the humans in ways no alien could anticipate. Together, they demonstrated that survival and victory were not just about raw power, but about adaptability, intelligence, and the courage to stand where others would falter. Word of the event spread across the fleet. Reports arrived from distant colonies detailing encounters where humans, underestimated and derided, had turned the tide of conflicts with ingenuity that aliens could not predict. Leo's actions became emblematic of humanity itself, not the strongest species, not the fastest, but the one whose persistence, creativity, and resilience could bend reality to their will. One day, as the sun or its alien equivalent over the training grounds, Leo stood with the apex predator by his side. The other recruits had gathered, silent and watchful, learning from every subtle movement, every decision. A young alien, barely past his first cycle, whispered, "How can a human do this?" Leo smiled faintly. "Because we never give up," he said. "We survive, and when we survive, we rise." The apex predator growled softly, a sound that could have been laughter or approval. It mirrored the human's confidence, a bond forged not through domination, but through understanding and respect. In that moment, the boundaries between species blurred. Strength was no longer measured in claws, fangs, or sheer might. It was measured in willpower, intelligence, and the unshakable drive to face impossible odds. From that day forward, the Letharian fleet never underestimated a human again, and Leo he continued to train, to fight, and to teach, not for glory, not for recognition, but because humanity's way was simple: adapt, survive, and elevate others along the path to victory. The human recruit, once mocked and derided, had become a symbol, a living testament to the truth that even in a universe ruled by the fiercest hunters, courage and ingenuity could bend the apex predator to the will of a single determined human. And so, the legend began not of a conqueror, but of a human who proved, once and for all, that the greatest strength lay not in what one could destroy, but in what one could inspire.